Hello and welcome back. We are playing Frog Errant or Mausritter, the box set. And the specific one is Frog Errant. I've got some notes here. I obviously forgot to do stuff. Spend money, do repairs, how you fight as a warband and faction. So what I'll do is I'll quickly look at those now, and then we'll get back to the thank you for subscribing, and if you haven't subscribed, please subscribe, and if you like when you see what you're doing, hit the thumb. I'll be back in a second. Okay, so let's start at the top. Repairs. Actually, no, we'll start here, won't we? Thank you very much for joining me. I have now read up the bits that I've just said I would read up on. Thank you very much for being here for a game of Frog Errant. If you are a subscriber, thank you very much for being a subscriber. You are very much appreciated. Thank you very much indeed. If you are not a subscriber, please consider subscribing. It helps the channel grow. It helps the algorithm see more of us, and it will let you know when I release a new video. If you like what you're seeing during today's game, Frog Errant, Mausritter, please hit the thumb. And if you have any comments about Mausritter that I can answer, or I can direct you to someone that can, please put them in the comment section and we can discuss either how I'm playing, how you play, suggestions for what Lamorak of Silverhouse may do. It's all very good fun. Anyway, so we left our Knight Errant, Sir Lamorak of Silverhouse, in the need for defeating Samson, I believe his name, or it could have been Solomon, a cat, so he needs a warband. So some of the things that we needed to look up in between the games was how we work as a warband. So a warband is 20 mice plus, or you could say frogs as well, I suppose. So Lamorak will need to raise a warband to take on Solomon. Let me double check, it is Solomon. It is indeed Solomon. So Lamorak will need to raise a warband to defeat Solomon the cat, and then we will have to have warband combat. So first things first, we need to raise a warband. I was going to look up spending money and repairs. Couldn't find out how repairs work. If anyone can tell me how repairs work, please do. I couldn't find it. So what I did was I just spent his money on new equipment. He had 36 pips. I used the costs for items within Frog Errant as they were cheaper. I got Lamorak a set of full plate so he can feel like a proper knight. He bought a new shield to replace his damage shield. He bought a medium-sized sword, which will still give him D6 damage if he uses it one-handed, but if he drops his shield and uses it two-handed, he will get a D8. He has put his silver short sword into his backpack, and his breastplate, which he bought a new breastplate to replace the old one. That is also in his backpack as backup. He has 21 pips remaining of his money. And that was that, I think. That's everything. Warband, so we need to raise 20 mice. Our faction movement. So one of the things that we're supposed to do between is we look at our faction. So our faction in this area is the Fairy Queen. And so what we do is we will then go through each of the faction's goals. So for the Fairy Queen, her goals are kidnapping mice, tricking mice, and settle the lands, or lead the settlement into the fairylands. So what we do is, for those, let me refer to the beautiful book which comes in the box set of Mausritter. It's a lovely set. You also get a DM screen, lovely little DM screen. I will be running this hopefully, and I don't know whether Luce will be watching this, but I will hopefully run this for Luce, Mandy's friend, and her partner, and Mandy at some point, which will be quite fun, and I can tell you how it works as a tabletop role-playing game, TTRPG. So, for each one of the goals of the Fairy Queen, we roll a d6, and we adjust the value based on the relevant resource that the faction has. And if it has, we add 1. So kidnapping mice, we can say kidnapping mice, shape-shifting agents helps in kidnapping mice, and endless illusionary silver, because the mice can be coerced into following the camouflaged fairy, and the queen can kidnap them. So we roll a d6, we would add 2. That only gets 3. On a 4, 5, we mark 1 progress. On a 6, we mark 2, so that's none. Next, we have tricking mice. I think we would still be the same. There's the 2. 2 and 2 is 4, so 1 progress. So she has tricked a few mice, but not been able to kidnap them. And finally, she is attempting to lead the settlement into the Feylands. I think that's just the hidden portals, which would be a 6, so that's 2. So she's beginning to make pathways leading the settlement into the Feylands. So we would begin. So that's everything done from what I was planning to do. We will then deal with the note. So what we then have next is in this episode, so our frog errant will be going to below the tree, the settlement where we are situated, and the leader of the knights, Uther of Dragonar, he's the knight commander, who gave us the quest to defeat Solomon the Cat. So what I was thinking just before this session was, how was he going to raise a warband? Now, one of the things it says is that he can do a will save and raise a warband or pay 1,000 pips. Now, he doesn't have 1,000 pips, and I don't think the knights are going to be able to raise 1,000 pips for our knight errant Lamorak of Silverhouse. Maybe he can get hold of some silver, as he does work for the silver, or used to work for the Silver House. So let's say, so what we also have is he could do hireling. So we could go around and try hiring people. We only need them for the day, for tomorrow, to march off to defeat Solomon. So a knight will cost 25 gold wages. Now, if we can get 500 pips, that seems quite cheap per day, and it's 1,000. Oh, because we've got the hirelings. Maybe we can convince some knights. So let's say, so we could do D3. So we need 20. So let's say we need 20. We need 20 in our warband. So first off, Lamorak is going to go into the knight's quarters, where the knight's shop was, where he bought his armor from, and he's going to start speaking to them, and he will attempt to convince the D3 knight, so he needs to make a will save. We will give him a straight will save. His willpower is 13. He's going to attempt to make a will save to convince a D3 knights. We'll go a lucky D3, so we'll roll 2 D3 and he'll take the highest, to join him on this quest. 19, they are not happy. They've never really heard of him very much. He's not been around very long. He's only completed 1 quest himself, and a lot of the knights are saying, "Ribbit, I'm sorry, Sir Lamorak." "Ribbit, yes, my knight comrade." "Ribbit, we are busy with our own quests, although we would, Ribbit, love to help you defeat the evil cat Solomon." "Ribbit, I'm afraid we will not, Ribbit, as we are on our own quests as it is." "Ribbit, thank you." And so he's going to have to try another approach. Now, another thing it says to raise the warband is within this exquisite rulebook. We will look at warbands in the exquisite rulebook provided from, actually I bought this, but I got it from Exalted Funerals. That does a lot of, I got Morkborg, and all my Morkborg stuff I got from Exalted Funerals. So forming a warband, make a will save or pay 1,000 pips. So let's say we can get 10 people, 10 brave warrior mice who want to further their honour and feel the blood rush through their little mousy ears. So we've got a will of 13, 14. No, we can't even get them. Okay, so Lamorak is having a bit of trouble walking around below the tree, trying to get a warband together. Now he doesn't have 1,000 pips to pay a warband to come together, so he's going to have to come up with another idea. And this is what I was thinking. Possibly, Lamorak can attempt to speak to. Okay, so Lamorak is going to approach one of the warrior families, and he's going to ask the warrior family if he can complete a quest for them, if he can do something. "Right, I would like to offer you an exchange. Right, What I offer, good brave mouse warriors, I offer to help your faction in completing a quest that you would desire in exchange for a day of your time to defeat the evil cat Solomon. I think I was channeling Gungans just then. And this will then help the whole community. So he will then do a will save, which with advantage, which means he will take the lowest of these two dice. 3 or 2. Oh, they love him. And they decide,
Well, I tell you what, Sir Lamorak, oh knight, we do have respect for the knights, and we respect what you do for the community as a whole. So please could you take our honour that we will help you in exchange for some help from yourself. So what we would like to ask you to do...
So this black is action, red is subject. And I'm going to use the spark table, which is 2.3.1 in Frog Errant. So that's cocked. 416, we'll do 416. 4 vanquish, hey, 16 will. Vanquish will. Okay, will is something. Will is it can't be a warband thing. Will is going to be a monster or a creature who is pestering them. So what would will be? What is something that Sir Lamorak can attempt? Oh, if it's a rat, beware of the rat's intention. Okay, well, let's say it's a doom. It's the doom. It's a rat.
We would ask you to go into
18 is the forest. The Ratbrook Forest.
Go to Ratbrook Forest,
which is 18. 18 Ratbrook Forest.
And there you will find the rat Will.
Rat? Okay.
And we need you to bring him to justice. He has been attacking the mice of this community and stealing our seeds.
Oh, this will not do. So Sir Lamorak will have to bring him to justice. So first off, we are going to go. Our knight errant is going to need to go to Ratbrook Forest. And so first off, we will voyage into, so it's 1 hex per day's travel. So we'd move from here into number 7. Number 7, no, that's a countryside, Old Craggy Oak. So we will go to the Old Craggy Oak. Let's see if we have an encounter at the Old Craggy Oak. So we roll a d6 on a 1, an encounter occurs. On a 2, there is a suggestion of an encounter. 1, so we get an encounter. So we will roll a d12. Encounters, no, we want the 1 for our hex. Here we go. Encounters, d6. Let's have a d6 for an encounter. We've got a 2. All right, so we encounter 4 rats. Can we take on 4 rats? I don't think we could take on 4 rats. Maybe we're going to have to try and sort of like bluff our way, because it's got the rats, which is quite apt because we're going in for a take on it. 3 strength. All right, so we encounter 3 rats as we're traveling into this wooded area, and we're attempting to find somewhere where this this countryside area, and we're attempting to find somewhere for us to settle down to sleep for the night. We come across 4 rats who are dragging a sack of stolen seeds, stolen pips. Then we can have the pips. We might be able to take them back and get something. So we come across 4 rats. Halt! What are you doing?
Right. Ow! Ow! Frog! It's a frog! Ow! It's a frog! What are you going to do with the frog? I say we kill him. Nah, let's torture him. Nah, let's kill him and torture him. Alright, let's do that.
I say, halt is what I said.
Nah, we're not going to do that, are we? Nah, we're going to kill him and torture him. No, torture him and kill him. Alright, kill him and torture him is no fun. Oh, okay, let's do that one then.
Oh dear.
So Lamorak will attempt to use a force of will, so he'll get a disadvantage on this. So we'll take the lowest one away, which is, so that's going to be a 15. A 4, they're ignoring him.
Kill him, kill him, kill him.
So instead we will, they charge in. So there's 4 of them and there's 1 of us. So I assume it's going to be a dex roll to see who goes first. Then we will start to pick off the rats one by one, and the rats will attempt to pick us off by doing an attack each, I assume. First off, a will check, no, a dex check to see if we go first. No, we don't. They all come charging and attack us. So they have a D6 cleavers. So basically there's 4 attacks on us. On Lamorak, he's going to defend himself, and they get 4 D6 attacking us as they all sort of pack attack. We have got a shield and armor, which gives us 3 defense. So this and this is completely deflected, and then this will do 2 points, and this will do 3 points. So we will take 5 points from our hit points, which are 7, which puts us down to 2 hit points. We then get to retaliate. They have no armor. We get to retaliate with our silver swords. So they come in battering us with their cleavers, and we're shielding, parrying as they knock into us and do us damage. So we then roll a 4, which cleaves one of the rats. So we'll go 1 rat, 2 rats, 3 rats, 4 rats. They got 3, 3, 3, 3. And then 12, 12, 12, 12. So that does all of its damage and takes that down to 11. It needs to make a strength check. And it passes, so it's still up and standing. Oh, gosh. They then come in for another swooping attack. All 4 of them charging.
Gonna kill you, Froggy.
So we deflect, 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 and we take 3 points damage, putting us down to a strength of 12. Oh, actually, we are going to use one of our prowess to automatically pass this this check. So we're using 1 prowess to automatically pass that check. We should have done that. Why use 1 prowess to make it fail? Okay, so then we get to sweep in with our medium longsword, doing 5 points of damage. This is to another rat, which cleaves that, takes that down to a 10, and we will use a prowess to make it automatically fail, and that rat is beheaded.
I warn you, retreat.
I reckon one's got injured, so we will give him a disadvantage on a will check for them to run away. So that's a 5, okay? The 2 remaining, so 1 injured one will stay and fight, and the other 2 who haven't been hurt will run away.
Let's keep Lamorak alive.
But this one could still kill him. So he is then going to charge in and try and kill Lamorak. But Lamorak hunkers down, and then Lamorak will attempt to do him damage. 3 points, which puts him down to 8 points. We won't use that one automatically. We will see if he makes his will save. It's got to be under. Sorry, strength save. He makes it because it's equal to, and he stays standing. He will then attempt to attack Lamorak, doing 3 points of damage, putting Lamorak on 9. Lamorak will then use up 1 last prowess, giving him 1 prowess left. Lamorak will then slice this fella, putting him down to 3 strength. He can't make this, surely. And he doesn't. Cleaving the squeaky little rat fiend in twain. And we will say Lamorak, for his pains, can have 5d6 of pips. Can have 13 pips. So pips from this exploration so far is 13. Now Lamorak is quite battered and bruised. He will remove the bodies of the injured rats and pull them to the side. And Lamorak is going to find himself somewhere that he can put himself down for the night, because he is feeling really, really poorly. Quite poorly indeed. So we need to look up healing, because we never took damage like this before the last game. Okay, so he is going to, first off, he's going to take a short rest, which is 1 turn, a swig of water, a d6 plus 1 hit points back. Now he had 7 hit points and he's on 2, which is 2 points back, which will put him in 4, and then he'll do that again. Which is 4, 5, 6, which will be 7. So then he's on 7 hit points, and then he will rest the night, and resting the night will return a d6 strength points. 6, which will put him back on 4 of 13. So tonight, Lamorak will rest. Let's do an encounter for the night. 4, there is nothing. He sleeps through the night quite soundly, consuming 1 of his rations. And using 1 torch pip whilst he goes off to the lavatory in the middle of the night. So the next day, Lamorak awakens in the, what shall we call this field? This is Old Crag Farm. Hopping through the green and pleasant lands of Old Crag Farm, Lamorak reaches the edges of a dark woods. The woods are dark and really ominous. Let's see. No, that's different. So these are some ominous woods that he enters. They smell of musty sewage water and stagnant water. He keeps hearing rustlings in the bushes and rustlings around the different branches. And as he starts to move, he will begin to utilize tracking, which we will call his willpower, 5. And he's able to find the tracks of rats moving around. There's lots of rat hair and different scenting along the sides of trees. And he then will come across a underground warren. And in the warren there is, how many rooms shall we do? D3 plus 1, 2, 3 rooms. So we will have just a linear 3 rooms, 1, 2, 3. And scrawled on the entrance is Wheel Rat House. So if Lamorak can clear out Wheel Rat House, Lamorak will be able to take Wheel Rat back, and then he will be a warband up for our next session. So, because I look at the time and the time's ticking on. So what do we have? We have, this is Wheel Rat House. This is a musty, smelly, deep, dark underground house spaces underneath the roots of a tree. It stinks, and our Lamorak is not that happy about having to voyage into here. The first room that Lamorak will enter will be to randomly stock a room in an adventure site. Roll d6 3 times. The first result shows the room type. The second shows if a creature is present, and the third shows if treasure can be found. Oh, okay, I didn't do that last time. Okay, so we'll have 1 dice. So what's in the first room? 6. It's a lair. Is there a creature present? A creature is present on 1 to 5. Yes. Is there treasure also in here on 1 to 4? Yes. Okay, so we have a lair. This may not be Wheel Rat. So a d6 is what the layer is. There is a creature in here, and there is a treasure. So 2, recently taken from another creature. All right, so the tunnel continues on. This is loads of leaves that looks like it was a weasel nest, and instead we will have a D2 rats in here. 2 rats. who were just waking up as Lamorak comes in. Neither of these are clearly wheel rat. They are dressed in sort of rough leather tunics, and they're carrying cudgels, clubs, D4 clubs. Well, let's give some. No, we'll give them D6 clubs. They're carrying D6 clubs, and they look like guard types, but thugs. Maybe they're members of Wheel Rat's gang, and they stand there and go,
What are you doing here, frog? Don't like frogs, do we? Hey, Ted? Nah, we don't like frogs, do we, Ted? Nah, the two Teds hate frogs.
So they will come and try and attack Lamorak. They're not even going to try and talk to Lamorak. Lamorak has a dex of 13, and Lamorak goes first. So Lamorak will charge. No, he will stand. He's a knight. He doesn't do charging. He will wait for one of the rats to approach, and as one of the rats approach, he is going to strike the rat and do a will check. If he hits the rat, he gets all his prowess back, doesn't he? So I'm going to say that our pressure point has reached 9 as we begin this. So pressure point we use for if we do an oracle check and we ask yes, no questions to the oracle. So I wonder what our treasure is going to be. Lamorak will attempt to strike one of them. They have hit points of 3. If he puts one down, he will do a will check on one of the other ones. Doing 4 points, which puts that rat down to an 11 strength. It needs to make a strength check. It fails the strength check. There's a crack as Lamorak's sword swishes down across his leg and snaps his leg, and he falls to the ground screaming,
Ow, Ted, he's broke me ruddy leg, Ted. He's broke me ruddy leg. Who would have thought it, Ted?
And so Lamorak is going to make a will check with advantage, which means he gets very much a will check.
I charge you to yield, rat. I charge you to yield to your... me.
And all right, you flipping frog. All right.
He drops his club.
All right, look, we've got...
Hold on, what treasure do they have in this room? Which is, I've got a nice
table here. A nice table, treasure, day 20. 7. Roll for a large treasure.
All right, where do we roll for a large treasure? Let's move on to this table. A large treasure. Oh, it's only half a table on the chart. That's no good. It's a D6 for a large treasure. A 5. An ancient mouse throne. 6 slots worth 1,000 pips. All right. A 6 slot, 1,000 pip, call it silver, throne. There he goes.
All right. Tell you what, I'll show you what I've got hidden behind that leaf, and then you'll let me go, and I'll drag Ted away. Oh, go on, Ted. Don't give him that. Don't give him that, Ted. No, Ted. We've got to get your leg fixed. All right, Ted. It's that.
And then he starts to drag Ted out by his tail.
Oh, Ted. Let go of me tail. Bleeding tail, Ted.
And they leave. Now, there's a throne in here worth 1,000 pips. That'll give us a warband. Maybe that's what they stole. Maybe that's what the mice wanted us to return. Anyway, let's clear the next area. So we will move into the next area, which would be torch. And hopefully by the end of this bit, we don't need anything else. So we then roll 3d6 to find out what we've got in this room. First one is a 1. So in all intents and purposes, it's empty. A 1 to 3, there's a creature in it. Nope. And on a 1, there's a treasure in it. Nope. So there's an empty room. We move into an empty room, and in this empty room, there is... Oh no, it's a D20 for an empty room. There is 18, a stern statue of an ancient mouse. So all desecrated and graffiti covered and covered in all sorts of horrible stuff. There is a statue of a very stern looking mouse perched, maybe fallen against the side over this entrance here. Let's write empty. Over this entrance here, that's where the mouse statue is. And so obviously when we get into here, we will call this a lair, definitely. There is definitely a creature in it, Will. And there is treasure. We're going to give Will, Will can have a breastplate and Will can have a cleaver in here. And we will roll for a treasure after we have fought Will. So we enter the room, we stride in. If the room is lit, we don't need to use the torch. And standing in front of us on a little wooden throne, there is a rat.
And what pleasure has befallen me for a knight to come a-knocking?
Ribbit.
I charge you to return with me, Will Rat, to face justice.
Ribbit.
Justice for the crimes you have committed. I don't know why I would do that, Frog.
Yeah, massively.
I will have to bring you to justice then, Will Rat.
Oh, my name's not Will Rat.
Now, let's not play games.
And they will, I guess, because it is a D&D-esque game, maybe no. Will Rat's not going to come quietly, is he? Will Rat is going to jump up and Will Rat is going to stride in and say,
Now, Frog, I've been known to kill your kind and cook your legs.
and then we'll do a dex check to see who goes first. And Lamorak goes,
Do not speak of such foul things. You should not threaten a frog knight. Ribbit.
and he will then charge in to do d6 damage against Will Rat, doing 2 points of damage. Now, Will Rat has a breastplate on. A breastplate protects him from 1 point of damage. So that 1 point of damage is deflected, and he ends up only doing 1 point, gently bruising Will Rat's chest. Now, Will Rat with his he's gonna have a silver-plated cleaver. Will Rat with his silver-plated cleaver will then stride forward, looking dominant, and attempt to hit Lamorak of Silverhouse, who just stands there and parries easily with his shield, as Will Rat then looks a bit bemused because that's never happened before. And they face off and they begin to rotate around, as Lamorak will then really get a crack in, doing 3 points of damage, knocking Will Rat down to 11 strength. Now, Will Rat is going to have to try and make himself a save, and Will Rat fails. So quite quickly, Will Rat is brought to his knees.
I yield to you, Sir Knight. I yield, and thrice time I yield. Please, listen, I'm yielding. I've yielded. This is a yield. It is a yield. I'm going to put my hands behind me. You can take me in for justice. Don't want to die. Take me in for... I'm yielded.
Ribbit, I know you've yielded. Ribbit, stop going on about it.
And so Will Rat will begin to be brought in now. So Lamorak is going to tie Will Rat up and then get Will Rat to carry the throne back. So Will Rat is going to try and get... Will Rat will try and get out of it. So Lamorak, with advantage, will tell Will Rat that...
No. If you take this back, Will Rat, I will say good things about you to the mice of under the tree. And they will see themselves clear to being lenient.
And they will return back via... we could see... No, they're just going to return back. They will return back to under the tree, and Sir Lamorak will be heralded the hero of the hour, and they will give themselves over to him. He then has got the equivalent of 1,013 pips. So he's got the equivalent of 1,013 experience. 1048. That gives him 1,048 experience, which means he can spy a feat, which we will do before next session, where we will go face Solomon, the cat. He will not get the 1,000 pips, of course. He just keeps the 13 pips. And the 1,000 pips will be donated to the mice of under the tree, where an ancient mouse whose name is, let's see, that's a percentage, a D100 percentage, whose name is 21, Gwendolyn. So an ancient mouse, Gwendolyn White. Gwendolyn White is one of the ancients from the settlement. She is an old white mouse, very white, but her fur is not of a natural white, it's an aged white, so it once was black. She's an elder of the community. She recognises the throne of being the throne of the great emerald that was stolen from them 54 years ago. And Sir Lamorak is heralded the hero of Below the Tree for the next night, and he's brought many a mead, and many mice swear fealty and allegiance for the up-and-coming quest to defeat the cat Solomon in the raid against Solomon, and to bring Solomon to justice, hopefully. And with that, we will end today's session of Frog Errant, Mausritter, and we will return next week to Sir Lamorak leading his warband off to fight Solomon the cat, which will be exciting. Join me next week for the continuing tales. Thank you very much for joining me this week. Thank you for subscribing if you subscribed. If you haven't, please do. If you liked, please hit the like. If you have comments, please put comments in. Otherwise, I shall speak to you again next week. See ya.